welcome to another episode of PMD Football Talk. Hey, wild card round over. On to the divisional round. I'm tired of doing the intro. I think most of y'all know who we are now. Dustin, Mike, Pat. You know what I mean? I just wanted to just get into it. Like as soon as that music hits, I'm like ready to go. I'm pumped. But super wild card round is in the rearview mirror. Onto the divisional round. I mean, obviously, before we get into the pick'ems, we're going to go through the recap of the wild card round. What a weekend! What a weekend! Right?
Some good games.
There were some good games.
All the games were good except Monday night. You know, everything else was solid.
Everything else was solid. All your picks were good. Sort of. Man, I can't believe that.
I don't know. I'm trying to decide what the best game of the weekend was, and I'm stuck between Jacksonville, Los Angeles, and Buffalo, Miami. Those were both, I feel like, the best two games.
Actually, I didn't have either one of those as my best game.
Really? Which one do you have?
I actually, crazy enough, I have the Buccaneers Cowboys as the best game of the week. And I hate them. I hate them Cowboys, but I
hate them.
Yeah, but I actually that was my best game of the week, and I'll tell you why when we get to it.
All right. You know what? I don't like it. I don't like the tone. I feel like there's an underlying, there's something underneath there, and I don't like it. I can tell. You know what? Before we get to that, though, let's just start with that first game, right? Saturday. We had two games on Saturday. Seattle Seahawks went into San Francisco. San Francisco came away with the win. That first half, though, I was getting a little nervous for the 49ers there. I couldn't believe that they actually were losing at the half. I was like, wow, in Geno we trust.
Yeah, that second quarter, Seattle had a fantastic quarter. I think they had everybody, even the 49ers, kind of like, what is going on? They were playing great football, and actually I know some 49ers fans out there, if y'all watching, that were they were texting me like, hey, I don't know about this one. But, Brock Purdy doing his thing, finishes the game out. Deebo Samuel looking fantastic.
Do you think
they're definitely still as dangerous as we've talked about for the past few weeks? Bad first half.
Brock Purdy starts?
Proper adjustments.
Next year?
Probably not.
I don't know.
I'm going to say yeah.
It depends on the rest of the playoffs, honestly.
We can say, look at it like this. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl for a team, and he got traded in the following season.
True. Right.
So, is Brock Purdy their guy? It's all about, all the analytics and numbers behind the scenes that
and
we don't know
still
about.
have Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this next game's going to tell you whether – I mean, I guess that's kind of hard to say, though, because he could still be starting because I don't know if Trey Lance is going to be ready for week one, honestly.
Trey Lance is a rookie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he got hurt his first year. He's going to take a huge step back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brock Purdy's already he's ahead of him. And in the depth chart, if I'm setting a depth chart as the GM or the manager or the coach or whatever, whoever sets the depth chart, I got Brock Purdy.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man.
He's undefeated as a starter. You can't ask for much more.
There is true, but
crazy.
There is true. I said that, or I meant that is true. But I got to say though, I mean, I think a lot of it is contingent on how well he plays this next game.
Yeah,
I think it just depends. If he has a terrible game, I don't know.
Hey, look, see,
a lot of things can be brought up if he has a terrible game, right? Because there are. Well, I mean, we'll get to it when we get to that game.
Yeah. All I know is Seattle, you had a nice little run there. You scared the 49ers for just a little bit, but right. you weren't able to do it.
I mean, hey, we all agreed last week the Seattle Seahawks were probably the one team that didn't deserve to be there.
Hold on. I'm Glad you said that, because let's be honest, right? Green Bay would have been the team to be there.
Right.
Can Green Bay beat San Francisco? Absolutely not.
What do you mean, absolutely not? They played.
Absolutely
They
not.
beat the San Francisco 49ers many times.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers has ever beaten the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs.
I think that actually might be true.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right. No, you're probably right. You're probably right. But the Green Bay and the Lions, they both were rolling, dude, at the end of the year. Right?
This is an immediate stat that just came up. Aaron Rodgers is 0-4 versus the 49ers in the playoffs. So let's be honest, 49ers are going to win regardless.
Okay. I mean, the Cowboys were 0-7 against the Buccaneers, and that happened.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, bruh. You can't apply it to one thing and not another.
But I got you.
Get out of here.
I got something for you when we get to the game. I got something for you.
Oh man, I told you Tom Brady was on. He was ready to break records this week. What did I tell you?
He did for most passing attempts.
Exactly. And then what did I tell you? I said he was gonna end this season breaking another record, and that last record was gonna be what? Losing to the Cowboys.
Most playoff yards by a 46-year-old?
Maybe.
All right, let's get to the next one.
So the next game, man, this was wild.
That was a wild game.
Los Angeles Chargers going in against Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Without Mike Williams, I was a little nervous for him, right? But I still thought they had the edge. And that first half, man, I was like, I'm glad I picked the Chargers because they look unstoppable, and Jacksonville just looks like they're going to be trash.
Yeah, it literally looked like.
Oh, was I wrong? I went to bed. Right when the third
you went
quarter
to bed.
started.
That sucks because that was an exciting second half.
I know. I thought it was boring though. I was like, man, this is over. And like I think it was like a minute into the third quarter, I went to bed.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked like he had the rookie playoff shut down, throwing 4 ints. They were losing 27-0. Pretty much going into the half, they hit that last touchdown right before halftime.
Yeah, that's
and
why
he
I was
came
like,
back firing.
I mean, he didn't have anything to lose, right? He's like, well, I gotta thread the needle at this point. I mean, there ain't no way we're coming back unless I'm throwing bombs.
I'll try to look up a stat, but I can't find it. But I think Trevor Lawrence is the only second quarterback in history to throw more than four or more interceptions and still win a playoff game.
That was pretty crazy. 3 of them to the same guy.
Well, he threw 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
like that.
I forget the name of the player that got the 3.
Yeah, two of those were not his fault at all. You know,
Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was he killing or was he making bad passes?
Yeah.
I didn't actually get to watch it. I was just watching the play-by-play. I was at work, but literally, I was on lunch and they were losing, and I was like, man, damn. Because I like the Jags.
I'm glad to see the Jags win. I picked them, obviously, because I actually said last week, I want Doug Peterson to be successful. But, the Jacksonville team is hot right now. And, you'd love to see it. Trevor Lawrence, if he can just clean up that interception mistake, and I'm not saying they will, because we'll talk about when we get to it, but, I think they can stand and fight against the Chiefs a little bit.
I think they can, too. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so moving on to Sunday then. That first game, first of 3, Miami Dolphins.
That's the most exciting game.
Going into Buffalo, yeah, right? Going into Buffalo, playing them Bills. Across the board, we had the Bills winning it. This is I put in a parlay I had to this week, and that was the only game that I missed. Because I couldn't cover 6 points. Like I could not believe that the Bills allowed that Dolphins team to stay in it like they did. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't think I thought this was going to be like a 14-point win, to be honest. Without Tua playing, Skyler, I don't even know his last name, coming in. And it wasn't even him that won that game. That defense the Dolphins had looked great going against the Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills,
one of those scores was kind of gifted by Cole Beasley. He got hit right in the chest. Cole Beasley bounced right off him. Defender was right there in the red zone. I mean, they kind of gifted him a touchdown there. But yeah, looked good. I mean, he hit him right in the chest. Like he 9 times out of 10, he's not missing that. But hey, anything happens in the playoffs, man.
If they play that same game with Tua at quarterback, Bills be watching from the sidelines.
Yeah.
The Dolphins didn't have much offense, like statistically. 220 yards passing, like 60 yards rushing. Like they struggled to move the ball, but still found a way to keep it close. Like
yeah, I mean that one strip
could have
sack,
changed
right?
the game, or Tua would have changed the game.
That was right in the red zone too. That strip sack on Josh Allen when he dropped that ball, he fumbled it, I should say.
Yeah. I think Buffalo Bills are favorites to win the AFC right now, but struggling against that Miami team, I don't know.
Miami did a good job getting to the quarterback in that game.
Yeah. Yep.
They were putting pressure on Josh Allen.
Yeah, it was a good game.
All right. So moving on to the 4:30 game then. New York Giants going into Minnesota. We all had the Giants winning. Wasn't an upset in our eyes, but it was an upset to everybody else. All the NFL analysts, just about everybody you talk to, had the Vikings winning it. I'm not sure why. We all knew who they were.
Can't have a negative point differential and win games.
I'm just going to say this. Actually, I'm going to say two things. One, last week I said the Vikings are either going to win the Super Bowl in some crazy fashion or they're going to get exposed, right? Obviously, they got exposed. But let me tell you, that boy DJ over on that New York Giants team was balling out. And he's been balling for a little bit. He played a fantastic game. He ran the ball. He was hitting solid passes. He didn't turn the ball over. One on the road. Like, go ahead, DJ.
He's looked good the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, honestly.
He played a very good game.
Okay. And not only did DJ look good, who else looked good? Saquon Barkley, dude. He looked like he looked in his rookie year. A couple of those runs, man, where he just exploded. Like he's looking like he's getting back to form, man. Watch out.
Like Saquon. That's a Penn State homie. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Dude.
I don't mind Saquon.
He looked explosive again. He really did.
You know it's going to be exciting? There's a headline next week. Or tomorrow. I'm sorry, there's a headline tomorrow. Miles Sanders versus Saquon, the Penn State brothers. They played at the same time. Who's better?
I mean, Saquon.
No, here's the real thing. Here's the real headline.
Miles Sanders is not
Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts run for more than Saquon and Miles Sanders.
I mean, that's a headline too. That's a headline too. But look, I'm excited to see the Giants tomorrow.
Right. I was gonna say, you know who's scoring that rushing touchdown besides Jalen Hurts? It's gonna be Boston Scott. It's not gonna be Miles Sanders.
That's the Giant killer, baby. You already know.
Let's be honest. We know who's scoring that rushing touchdown.
I think I saw a stat that he has 17 total touchdowns in the NFL, 10 are versus the Giants.
Yeah.
So I got one more thing to say. How are you Kirk Cousins and you go through the crap that you have to go through and then you go and do a Kirk Cousins things at the end of the game? When you are, what was it? Was it 4th and 6 or 4th and 8? It doesn't even matter. Whatever one it was, how do you throw a cross route? I think it was
4th and
3 yards. Was it 4th and 3? Are you sure?
I think it was 4th and 3.
Because I think he hit that. All right, well, I mean, I guess that's even worse. Did he hit a wide receiver behind the line of scrimmage?
He did, yes. But I'm going to see if I can.
Are we talking about the play where he threw it to Hawkinson?
Yes.
They needed 8 yards, and he threw like a 3-yard out.
Yeah, to end the season. Like, bro, are you your entire season is on the line, and you're not going to throw it to Justin Jefferson? You're not going to throw it to anybody over the sticks?
Hawkinson was killing them. He just he ran around that didn't go over the first down line.
Yeah.
Well, that's
been
also
killing
the
since
point.
he got
Kirk Cousins just wasn't aware of the situation. Like he just did a Kirk Cousins move. That's
I'm not going to put it all on Kirk Cousins because Hawkinson should have ran a route over the first down line. Like let's be honest.
Unless his route wasn't to actually catch the ball and to pull a defender to a certain spot so that someone else could hit it.
I was going to say, probably.
It was just a bad play call / reading of the situation.
It was probably to open up the middle of the field where Justin Jefferson was, but there was also 5 defenders around Justin Jefferson.
They had so many options on that team.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't believe that's how you end the game.
No, that's how they deserved it in their season.
Yeah, definitely. You can't have the worst defense in the league and expect to win playoff games. So,
jeez,
what? They're literally like 32nd, I think, ranked defense.
Next game. Wrap it up.
Next game.
Wrap it up.
Baltimore Ravens playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
The worst game of the week. All right, let's talk about it.
Yeah. We all had the Bengals winning it. They barely did it against Tyler Huntley. Like I'm nervous for this team.
No, the Bengals let me down.
Yeah.
They won the game. Yes, they scored 24 points. Yes, it's a tough division game. Like just watching it was literally probably the most boring game I've watched all season.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a tough game to watch. It was slow. It didn't feel like I feel like the Bengals should have dominated that game based on winning the division, based on the Baltimore Ravens not have. I mean, yes, the Baltimore Ravens defense is good, but like they also have no receivers. They can't. They're not running the way they do with Lamar Jackson. Like they should have dominated this game and not won by a single touchdown.
Right.
I don't know.
I think
especially with being my Super Bowl favorites for the AFC. Like that was kind of disappointing for me.
Their O-line looked like trash.
Right. So the left tackle, he went down, the guard went down, and I don't think they're playing this week. So, I mean, that's they had those offensive line issues in the beginning of the season because they had all that new talent that they brought in, and I kept saying like, hey, you just got to give them some time to get it clicking. They finally did, but now they got these 2 major injuries coming up. I think this team is in a world of hurt now. I definitely had the Bengals going far. We talked about last week. I had them going, making a deep threat here in the playoffs. But at this point, I think they might be cooked. It's going to be a close one. But we'll see. All right. Moving on to the next one.
We got
game of the week.
Monday night, Dallas Cowboys going into Tampa Bay, taking on them Bucks. You guys had the Bucks winning it.
I'll go last.
And I had the Cowboys winning it because I believe in the Cowboys. I mean, I told you guys, though. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer, though, because clearly that secondary is just decimated. They're trash. So Dak had an easy day. You know what I mean? It wasn't really difficult.
The Bucks defense didn't look good altogether, but they were on the field so much that like they didn't get a single bit of rest. The Buccaneers offense didn't get any separation. I don't know how you have Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, and Mike Evans, and those guys were all locked up. Actually, out of all those receivers, I think Julio might have looked the best, and he's the oldest one.
The Dallas Cowboys defense, man, they were that high-powered defense that you've seen most of the year, swarming to the ball, right? I mean, they were after it. I think they just were in that mindset. They were ready to go, and they executed. They had a game plan and they executed it. I think that's what it boiled down to. And then yes, like you said, they were on the Bucs defense was on the field a lot. I think 4 of those drives were like 80 plus yards. Like, I mean, it wasn't like given to them. Like those Cowboys had to go up the field They were like 70 or 80 plus yards, I think, all of the drives. It's tough to do. Doesn't matter who you're playing.
And there was 0 rushing by the Bucs. Tom Brady threw the ball 66 times.
Oof. Yeah, he did.
It was like they couldn't run the ball at all this year. The team, like people keep saying Tom Brady looks bad. I think Tom Brady still looks like Tom Brady. Obviously, he doesn't have the arm like he used to, but he still can read a defense. He can still put the ball where it needs to be. Bunch of those passes that he threw to Mike Evans went right through his hands, bounced right off his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Really disappointing game from both sides of the ball for the Bucs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, between the running backs for the Cowboys, I mean, they barely eclipsed 100 yards rushing. I mean, if you looked at this score, you would have thought they had that running game rolling too.
Tony Pollard, that's my guy. I'm drafting him next year in fantasy.
He needs to have a big week this week.
He looks great.
We lost Mike there for a second.
He's back.
Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're
we
back.
can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Back.
I know you had to take a minute. Get ready to.
Has some internet issues.
Game. Yeah, I was gonna say he had to stop there for a second, get prepared to.
All right, did you guys talk about the game?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, so my turn. This was my favorite game I watched all season.
All season.
Specifically for one reason, and this is why this is going to be great moving forward. I'm not going to talk about the Buccaneers. I don't even know if Tom Brady. Well, actually, give me a second. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady. I don't think he plays with them next year. It was probably his final game there. Hats off to him. I think he did the best that he could do. His receivers definitely were not getting the separation that they should be getting. Like, I don't. That was a tough game. They barely ran the ball. They got down early, so maybe that's why he had to throw 66 times. Anyway, hats off to Cowboys defense. But the big thing is, this is why this is great. Dak Prescott had the best game of his career, and you can't argue me. He had the best game of his career. 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. He ran one in. He was on fire, right? He can't repeat that effort. And he's got his biggest test coming up the next 2 weeks. Say he gets past the San Francisco 49ers, right? Then he's going to run into that bad boys in Philly. If this is his best performance, he's not making it to the Super Bowl. And we're going to continue that streak of the Cowboys watching from the bench. And I just cannot wait. Just cannot wait. So hats off, Dak Prescott. Valiant effort. I love it, bro. Best game of your career. Good for you, bro. Can't wait to see you next week.
Mike, that's exactly why you picked the Buccaneers, because you don't understand football. Because this is exactly why, though. Because Dak Prescott led the league in points per game this year with 30. He clearly has been doing it on the regular, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
With interceptions. Boy's got ice in his veins. Watch out.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Go ahead, take the win. I'm happy.
I'm just letting you know that take is garbage, bruh.
Hey, that's your opinion, man.
I know. That's why I'm letting you know mine is complete opposite of yours.
And that's cool. That's why we're two different people. I love it. I mean, congratulations to the Cowboys.
Did you watch the Vikings game? He tore them up. The Colts
and
game,
as you said, they're the 32nd best defense. So
exactly. But I know, but you just said that was his best game. That was
100% the best game he's played in his career. And if you argue me, you don't even watch Cowboys games, which is crazy. That was the best game of his career. On the road, was that his second playoff game in his career? On the road, good win, dude.
No, that's his third.
Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, my bad. I'm happy. I'm happy for Dak, man. I'm happy for him.
All right. So that wraps up the wild card round. You ain't happy for him. Get out of here. You gotta act like that.
No, I truly am happy for him. I'm truly happy for him.
All right. Moving on. Oh man, look at that. That's embarrassing.
We all had 5 picks, right? Right?
Yeah.
5 picks, right? All right.
Why does it say 4? Oh, that's for this week. Never mind.
Yep. All right. I think you went first last time, Pat, right?
Yeah.
You want me to go first here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So the first game we got tomorrow, Jacksonville Jaguars going into Kansas City playing the Chiefs. I think this is somewhat of a toss-up, and some people may be like, really? But I think it is kind of a toss-up because I think the Jaguars are going to be able to hang around with them only because the Chiefs' defense, I think, has struggled quite a few times with teams that can, run and pass the ball, which Jacksonville obviously can do. But I do think that the Chiefs are going to get it done. It's definitely not going to. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, though. Andy Reid, right? After a bye.
This is tough because they're both previous Eagles coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even have a bias in this.
Yeah,
I don't have a bias for this pick. Chiefs just had a bye week. Jaguars comeback victory on top of they're feeling really good about themselves. They feel like they can actually make it to the AFC championship round. But they're in Kansas City. Kansas City is a hard stadium to play in. Chiefs got a lot of firepower. I don't know. This is tough. I think it is going to be a close game, but I do think Patrick Mahomes is just a little too much to handle for the Jacksonville defense. So I'm going to take Patty Mahomes.
He's probably MVP.
He's been in the AFC. He's been in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl every year. He's been a starter. So I got to take Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking off to you guys. Same thing. I think the Chiefs are going to take this. Pat Mahomes was with Jalen Hurts missing games this season, he was the clear MVP. I think Trevor Lawrence is having a great second year in the league, but I don't believe he's going to be able to take down this team. The defenses are about ranked the same. I think the Chiefs struggle against the run more than the pass. They've had a couple close Denver games, and that Houston game was very close, but I think it'll be a close one. Jags will put up a good amount of points, but the Chiefs are going to pull away.
I will say I want the Jacksonville Jaguars to win. I just don't think they can.
Not this year.
Like last week, I wanted the Vikings to win, but I knew they wouldn't.
That's crazy.
I did because I wanted you guys. Remember, I told you I wanted you guys.
Still
we're still going to see you, bro. Don't worry about it.
I hope so. I hope so.
One more game.
One more game.
One more game. All right, Pat, it's back to you for the Philly Giants game.
Philly Giants game,
man.
This is probably the best case scenario for the Eagles for any team that we could have gone up for in this round. We've splatted them both times this year. I'm taking the Eagles. We got Lane Johnson back, so that the line's going to look a little better. Jalen Hurts is healthier, had a bye week off. I like the Eagles.
I mean, the Giants
What
haven't won.
was that last score? Your guys' game? 26-20?
I think it was 30.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
It was 26-20. I'm taking the Eagles. The Giants haven't won in Philly since 2013. I know records are made to be broken, but we have the Giants the DJ is playing great. He had a great week last week, but we talk about it for weeks. The Vikings defense is not the Eagles defense. They're going to have a little bit tougher time running against us. As Pat said, we got big LJ back on the right side. Jalen Hurts is ready to ball out. I think Eagles win pretty convincingly. I know they should have won more convincingly last time, but it's playoff time. I don't think the Giants are going to hang around for much of this game. I
have a different outlook. I still think the Eagles win. I do. But I do think the Giants are going to hang around to the very end. And here's why. Whoops, I did not want to pick the Giants. Obviously, Saquon's looking good. DJ can run. He's been proving that, right? So he can extend those plays. So that's going to at least limit some of. I mean, he's gonna pick up a few first downs, right? So it's going to limit some of that. Some of the opportunities for the Eagles to just run that score up, right? And I also think DJ is going to do okay with the middle of the field. You guys have been struggling a little bit in the middle of the field with injuries, obviously. You guys at full strength would blow them out of the water, but you guys aren't, at full strength. And also, and I say that because you guys struggled a little bit in that game against the Bears, and obviously Justin Fields, he wasn't 100%, but he was still running all over you guys. Jalen Hurts was able to get it done on his legs too during that game, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be running as much because I think he's going to be a little cautious with that shoulder. I may be wrong, and maybe he's just going to be given the green light. Hey, run as much as you want. But I think between him and the coaches, he's not going to be running as much as he normally does. So I think that might get you guys into a couple more 3rd and longs, and you might give them one or two more opportunities than they normally would have gotten. So that's why I think they stick around, but I think you guys still edge it out and take the win at the end. Cincinnati playing Buffalo. We got the rematch. That never happened, I guess.
The rematch that didn't exist.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of talk surrounding this game. Just given the situation, the Bills have a lot to play for. Kind of outside of football. I think they're going to have a little extra spark. I think the Bills, on a good day, are better than the Bengals. And especially with the Bengals, that guard's going to be out, left tackle is going to be out. I think that gives the Buffalo just a little more edge. I think Buffalo wins this game. I did originally have the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl, but I don't see that happening with that offensive line kind of in shambles.
1 second, I need to look at.
But I do got to say though, I mean, he did make it to the Super Bowl last year with getting sacked a record amount of times, right? So it's still possible. That's why I don't want to say this is a blowout, but I just think that Buffalo, I think they might be able to get the best of Joe Cool for once.
I'll go. Mike's looking up stats.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go with my gut feeling on this one. I know they've had recent struggles, but I was talking about the Bengals making it far into the playoffs early in the year. I'm going to pick the Bengals here. I think Joe Cool's the better quarterback of the two.
Damn.
Really? I do. I think
Really?
Joe. I think
aside from mobility, or
I will take.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
I would take Josh Allen as the mobility. I think that Joe Cool will have a longer career than Josh Allen. I think he's a better. He can read the field a little bit better. Obviously, Josh Allen has him on the mobility. But I like Joe Cool. I think he is able to read the field and play. I think he's better at the playmaking in the quarterback position than Josh Allen.
All right. I only got one thing for this game. I got the Bills winning. Last year, the Bills-Chiefs divisional round game was one of the most exciting games we have ever seen in football history. And if you remember what happened after the Bills lost that game, Stephon Diggs was standing on that field looking at them winning, and he was absolutely devastated. I mean, actually, I don't think devastated is the right word. I think he was pissed off. He's hungry. He wants that win. So I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to prevent Stephon Diggs personally from getting to see the Chiefs one more game. So give me the Buffalo Bills.
Like
actually, and with that being said, the Bengals. I don't know what happened last week against the Ravens. Yes, they won, but they did not look like that Bengals that I thought was going to make that playoff run when I initially picked them to win the AFC. So even more reason to back up the Buffalo Bills for this game here.
Right. Yep. All right, last game.
Fran. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers. I think the defense is going to be able to hold Dak down a little bit better than the other teams he's faced. I like how many weapons the 49ers have rushing and passing. They're healthier at this point. They have McCaffrey. I'm going to go San Fran.
This is undoubtedly the hardest pick of the week because I think both teams have a pretty even chance of winning this football game. As I said, Dak had his, in my opinion, the greatest game he's ever played last week. And I don't think he can mimic that, especially against a tougher team being the 49ers. Brock Purdy hasn't lost yet as a starter. So there's a lot riding on this game, especially between the two quarterbacks specifically. I think the home field advantage is going to take effect in this game. I got San Francisco winning by 3 points. Last minute field goal. This game might even go into overtime.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's gonna be a really close game, and it is gonna come down to the wire. And the Cowboys could easily just as much win this game as much as 49ers. I'm picking based off home field advantage. I gotta go 49ers.
All right. I'm rolling. I'm rolling with the Cowboys. I'm just gonna put that out there right away. And I gotta go with just a couple things here. So Purdy has been on a tear, right? He's been on a tear. I'll give him that. He hasn't faced a good pass rush yet. Nothing even above, like not even at mid. I was going to say, I think he faced what, a 26, a 24, and a 22nd ranked defense pass rush over those last 6 games. I think he's had some games that teed him up. So this is going to be a little different for him. I also saw a segment the other day that he has a 50 QBR rating against the pass rush. He also had last week, on average, 5 yards of separation with his wide receivers. The way the Cowboys defense was swarming to that ball last week, I don't think it's just going to be a little bit different. So I think it's going to be a little closer. So I think just because of that, I think the Cowboys are going to be able to ruffle him up just a little bit more. And I think it's kind of just the opposite of what you said, Mike. I think it's going to be like a last-minute field goal maybe, or just a last-minute stand just to stop them, at midfield. Like, they're both going to score points. I mean, these teams both have good, offensive coordinators / head coaches or whatever. They know how to score points. So that's not going to be the problem. I think Purdy's just going to have a little bit too much pressure on him for the first time, and I'm hoping that he crumbles a little bit.
I'm going to go on record and say I did pick the 49ers in a close game, but when the Eagles win their 8-15 game on Saturday, I am going to be low-key rooting for you guys just for that one more game. Just for one more.
We all want to see it. I think the NFL might make it happen, too.
I want some more,
The deciding factor in the Dallas 49ers game is going to be, can Dallas run against that San Francisco defense? Yep. That defense is not allowed rushing But if that combo of Tony Pollard and Zeke can do it, I think that will make them win that game.
Here's what I got for you. If they keep Zeke on the sidelines, they'll be able to run the football.
I love Tony Pollard. I think he looks great.
TP is a killer, man. TP is a killer.
They need to look at that this offseason and make sure they wrap him up with a contract.
Oh, yeah. So I have a feeling that so I think they can use franchise tags on 2 players, right? Up to 2 players.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if they can't structure a good deal with Dalton Schultz, I think they do it to him and Tony Pollard. They're not going to be able to pay Tony Pollard the money that he deserves. So and you just don't know where his mind's at. Like, he might be like, hey, I know I'm worth this, so like I want to shop around. But if he's a little more loyal, then maybe they make it happen.
I think it's tough because he deserves starting running back money. So if you keep Zeke, is he the starting running back? Because you can't pay 2 running backs starting running back money. Like
I've been saying this a lot. It's got to be that like Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt deal. It's got to be like, because honestly, Tony Pollard's not Tony Pollard without Zeke.
I think he is,
or at least another big back that can get it down on those 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. That's who's getting the ball. That's who's taking the beating. If Tony Pollard has to do that every single game, he doesn't last the game. Like, he even said it when Zeke was out a couple games. He was gassed in the 4th quarter.
I think it's a lot easier to find a 2nd-tier running back that does that, though, than it is to pay like a LeGarrette Blount or a freaking like a giant fullback for those 3rd and 1s. Like
Deontay Foreman or those backups for those big dogs that you've seen. Oh yeah, I agree. But I think they might be able to restructure Zeke's deal.
I mean, outside of Derrick Henry, you don't see like the big backs anymore. Like, a lot of them are the Tony Pollards, the guys going out there catching a lot of balls. And then they do have a 2nd-tier big boy that they give for them short yard goal line plays. I think that's the future of the running back, because the bell cow giant backs last a year or 2 and they get 400 hits on them and they're done.
Right, but they all have that same thing in the back of their mind as well, as the whole Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, just the injuries. Those style backs, right? Like, Elijah Mitchell, like those style backs, they get hurt a lot.
And that's what makes keeping running backs on your roster so hard. When you look at a running back and they get their original rookie deal, by the time that rookie deal runs out, they've already taken 1,200 hits. Like, they make it 1 or 2 more years, and then it's downhill from there. You don't see those longevity Frank Gores, Adrian Petersons anymore. Like, people are too fast and too strong now. The sports science, I mean, every year you got somebody running the 40 faster and faster and faster. People are getting big, strong, fast, and your ligaments are the same size. You don't grow your ACL any bigger. It's there. It's scary for those guys. They got to get their money early in their career, or they don't get it.
I agree. I agree.
I'm just going to go and say I think the ending to the divisional round weekend is probably the best game of the weekend. So I'm glad they scheduled it the way they did. But it does look like a good round of games here. I think all the games will end up being pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're all going to be pretty close. I think the biggest margin is going to be probably the Jacksonville Kansas City game. I think that's going to be the biggest variance.
Do you want to go double or nothing on receiver yards?
Well, no, I think you won, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying you want double or nothing.
Mike Evans got a bunch of garbage time yardage.
Was it drinks?
It was just who won, right? Because the loser really is.
It was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he already got first round.
So we're going
that's what I'm saying. You want to do? Yeah, you want to triple or nothing it? All the drinks that night.
Oh, hold on. All the drinks at Pinehurst.
All the drinks at Pinehurst. There we go. For one day of drinks at Pinehurst.
The Saturday drinks.
Yeah, the Saturday drink. I'm in.
Man, I feel like I already won. Why the hell do I need
feel
to
like
try
this
to?
is-
Why do
this
I
is
need
actually-
to bet? Why do I need to bet like a whole night of drinks now? This is
I don't
messed
know,
up.
but who's paying for Anthony's?
Right? Yeah.
Well, he's just not in it. He pays for his own.
Yeah, I like it.
Actually, that would be kind of funny. Like literally, the loser just pays for his drinks, and then he's the only one who benefits. It'd be hilarious. He'd be like, "You guys."
I mean, I'm down for that too. That's kind of. I'm down for that too.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I feel like we just need a separate bet. Damn. How about just the second round of drinks?
Okay. I mean, Pat got first round. We'll
I
do
got
second
first.
round. All right, we'll do second round. Second round of drinks. All right.
I mean, no offense, Pat. I just don't think that you should be just given a pass and then
That's
just
crazy.
automatically get put right back in the next bet. Like I feel like
Mike threw it out there. I was jumping in there. And you're like, good idea.
Look, I just love a good bet.
I thought Mike meant like me and him, like the next round.
Oh, no.
Me and him, like
No, one more game.
you want one again. All right, and then do we want to switch it up, or do we want to?
Do you want to do
continue with wide receivers? Do we want to do running backs? Do we want to do?
We do all of it.
We could do.
Why do you
we
do all
quarterbacks.
scrimmage yards
Quarterbacks
between wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs?
So we all pick. I'm sorry, a running back, a wide
Just
receiver,
no.
and
I was saying you pick one skill position player that's going to have the most scrimmage yards, not outside of quarterback.
Okay, so everyone would pick a running back.
I don't know.
he's like, I don't know. I might pick Debo Samuel.
I mean, that's fair too. You pick Debo.
Yeah, he's probably the only wide receiver you'd pick to get some run yards too. But yeah, oof. I don't know. I kind of like the combination of two players.
Yeah. How about you pick? How about quarterback in any skill position on offense added to the total yards, and receiving yards and running yards count. So pick a quarterback in any offense position, and they do not have to be on the same team.
Quarterback in any offensive position. Okay.
And all their total yards count together. All the quarterbacks rushing and passing and receiving yards versus rushing, passing, receiving for the other guy.
Okay. I like it.
All right, Pat, you're go.
What we got here?
Oof, man, I'm gonna have to open this up here.
All right, give me.
I got mine.
Give me Patty Mahomes.
Okay.
And
And we can't pick any of the same players, so you get to go first, and then that player's off, right?
Oh, okay. You want to just do a snake style then? Then I get to
Or
pick
how
one?
do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that
Yes.
How do you?
So he holds on his one then, and I'm going Jalen Hurts. And then you pick Dustin. You pick two in a row, snake style.
Okay. I'm going Allen. And
Daniel Jones about to throw for 400 yards.
I was actually thinking about taking Daniel Jones.
I was gonna take Daniel. I was gonna take Daniel Jones if I was assuming he was gonna pick Josh Allen. Honestly,
Actually, I was thinking about taking Josh Allen. Or I'm sorry, Daniel Jones. Yeah.
I was thinking about Daniel Jones too, but I think he's gonna have almost the identical game. Oof.
Time's ticking.
I know. I am going to go with.
I'm torn between two players right now, so please pick one of them so I can pick the other one.
I am too. And they're both
okay.
running backs.
AJ Brown? Okay.
AJ Brown.
So you didn't pick either one that I was thinking.
I think.
Mike, can you take one of mine so I can freaking not have to do this?
Give me. Ooh, I really want to take my man's, but I gotta go Christian McCaffrey.
Were you thinking about Tony Pollard?
I was thinking about Tony Pollard.
I was too. I was, but I was like, I don't want. I feel like I'm gonna jinx it if I pick him. So I'm sorry.
Give me McCaffrey. Yeah,
I'm jinxing mine now because my dudes are on the same team.
Here you go. Say McKinnon.
Yep. Give me Jarrett McKinnon.
No way.
Oh my god. Well, he's paying for first and second rounds of drink.
I was going to take McCaffrey, but it was between McCaffrey and McKinnon.
Well, there you go.
Wow. Man.
Imagine if these players actually played together, though. Well, Pats doesn't count.
Mine do. Hey, if McKinnon catches 170-yard touchdown, that's double points for me. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's literally 70 yards.
It's no.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Right.
It's one. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, okay.
When
right.
McKinnon's
I'm
on the bench
stacking.
because Pacheco's taking all the snaps, you're good.
That's funny. That would be funny. All right. I feel like now I'm mad I even picked AJ Brown. I don't know why. I'm just automatically I feel like
Devonta Smith has 220 yards. AJ Brown is 60.
I know, right? That's what I'm thinking, but we shall see.
Like
All right, fellas.
This could go anyway.
Games are tomorrow. We'll be in touch.
Oh yeah. Oh, we will.
Until next time, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. We love you. Go Philly.
Hey, throw in the comments.
Dallas.
Start thinking about what you guys want to see in the off season for us.
Oh,
We got some ideas, but we'd love to hear your ideas.
oh yeah. What do you want to see? We love getting together, making questionable decisions. Let's see them comments.
That's what we do.
All right, we out.
Peace out from PMD.